that gonna fit everyone?
Yeah, easily. 12 customers total.
How do they turn a profit?
$12.50 a head, that's how.
What, are we eating a Rolex?
It's one of his classics. You have to try the mouthfeel of the mignonette.
Please don't say mouthful.
Tonight will be madness.
Welcome. We'll endeavor to make your evening as pleasant as possible.
Welcome to Hawthorne.
Here we are family. We harvest, we ferment, we gel.
They gel.
We gel.
He's not just a chef, he's a storyteller. The game is trying to guess what the overarching theme of the entire meal is going to be. You won't know till the end.
Who are you?
I am Margot. Why do you care?
I have to know if you're with us or with them. This menu,
The pictures, they're of us.
this guest list,
How did he get these? It's not good.
this entire evening.
This is just theater, it's stagecraft.
We're leaving now. Has been painstakingly planned.
This is real, isn't it?
What the hell is going on?
We now offer you a 45-second head start. Okay, 45 seconds starts now. This is what you're paying for.
Get out of my way.
It's all part of the menu.
It's okay.
No, we're gonna die tonight.
Yes, we are.
Happy birthday to you.
You told him it was my birthday?
Seemed funny about 3 hours ago.
Boom, there you go. That was a trailer for The Menu, available right now on HBO Max. I'm Kuya P, and I'm joined by the big homie, Glenn Lawrence. How are you, Glenn?
What's going on, man? Leveling up as always. How you doing, bro?
I'm well, man. I'm excited to talk to you about this. This was one of my top picks last year for 2022. Happy to see it now on HBO Max. I think more people need to see this film. So let's break it down, man. Let's talk all about our thoughts on it. I'm going to toss it to you to break down the story. I'll break down the actors and characters they portrayed, and then we'll just mash off on our thoughts on all the elements that we loved about the film. You ready to get down?
I'm ready to get down. Yeah, man. So
All right, Glenn, let's break it down.
If you haven't seen the Menu yet, it's the story of something that we've all been to. It's a dinner party. It's very, very interesting in the fact that it's a dinner party for kind of elites. It's a celebrity chef. He's hosting this awesome dinner party, but things seem to go awry over the course of the menu. It's just, I mean, that's it. That's basically the story. It's these guests, they get there. They all have different connections to the chef. And as he brings out the course, he's trying to tell a story over it. But then they find out that, it's maybe a story that they're not so happy about being told. But as the night progresses, he continues to thread the needle, talk about how they're all connected. And it basically all ends up adding up or moving towards the final dish, which is the creme de la creme, chef's kiss, a dessert to die for, that I think everybody would really like. So that is kind of the menu in a nutshell. Just real quick wrap up without getting into the who's, the what's, and the whys. But it's very, very interesting. It's I would say it's a satirical kind of comedy drama, but it definitely will leave you feeling a little bit uneasy and weird. And it's great. It's got some amazing actors in there, as I'm sure Kuya P could fill you in on.
All right, so there we go. We'll dive a little bit more into our thoughts on the story when we give you our full review in just a second. So I'm going to break down the cast and crew. On the directing chores is Mark Mylod. He's known for Succession, a very popular TV series on HBO Max, as well, that you're catching the menu on right now. He also worked on Game of Thrones on HBO. He did Shameless on HBO. This dude is loyal to HBO. He also worked on The Affair. So done a lot of work for HBO Max. Mark Mylod is our director. On the writing chores, who I'm really intrigued about because I really liked how well this film was written. We have Seth Reese, who's known for Onion Sports Dome, A Big Beautiful Journey, as well as The New Yorker. And he's also joined by Will Tracy on Secession, writer on the Secession, worked on Last Week Tonight with John Oliver, big fan of John Oliver, and as well as the writer on Save the Green Planet. So those are your crew, essentially the directors and writers. Cast, Chef Slowick is played by the one and only Ralph Fiennes. Is it Fiennes? I'd always mispronounce the last name, Glenn. Do you know how he pronounces his last name?
I always thought it was Fiennes, but
Fiennes, Ralph Fiennes. Y'all know Ralph.
It could be Fiennes.
Yeah, I like that. I like that. Let's make it sound even cooler. You know him from Schindler's List, Grand Budapest. I can't even talk right. The Grand Budapest Hotel, The Constant Gardener, as well as Coriolanus. Well-known actors. We've seen them in everything. Anya Taylor-Joy plays our Margot. Man, she was in New Mutants. She's in everything right now. She's one of the it girls in Hollywood. Love Anya Taylor-Joy. Nicholas Hoult is Tyler. You've seen him in the X-Men. You'll be seeing him in the upcoming film Redfield with Nicolas Cage. He's all over the place as well. Hong Chow played Elsa. Really enjoyed Hong Chow, kind of like the assistant lieutenant to Ralph Fiennes' character. You've seen her in Watchmen and Downsizing, which highly recommend both of those series, Watchmen as well as the film Downsizing. I fell in love with her as an actor in Downsizing, and then she just took the ball and just ran with it when she got on Watchmen. Can't wait to see more of Hong Chow and just like literally everything. Love her. We also have Jenna McTeer, Paul Adelstein, John Leguizamo, who's in like everything now. I love how we're getting so much more John Leguizamo right now, Glenn. I don't know about you.
Sure.
We just saw him in Violent Night. Now he's in this. He's doing everything. Shout out to him coming back out there, just killing it. We have Amy Carrero, Reed Brinney, Judith Light. I got to give love to Judith Light. Haven't seen her since, was it who?
Night Court?
Not just Night Court.
Who's the boss?
Who's the boss? That's what I was looking for. That's where she was like the mama that we kind of wanted back in the day, right? Yeah. So yeah, great to see Judith Light, Rebecca Kuhn, Rob Yang, Arturo Castro. There's a laundry list of actors. Shout out to the entire cast and crew that really just did an outstanding job on this film. That was beautifully cast. Everybody played their role, written well, shot really well. Yeah, love for food, love for arts. So there you go. That's our cast and crew. Heather, Glenn and I are back on the screen now. I'm used to doing reviews with Heather. It's great to do this with Glenn right now. So yeah, Glenn, you broke down the story. I broke down the cast. Let's get into it. The Menu, now on HBO Max. What provoked you to check this out? Was it just me?
It was. I saw the trailer, and then I think you said how amazing it was. You and Heather had raved about it a little bit, so I was like, all right, let me check it out. And then it popped up real big on my HBO Max login splash screen, so I was like, all right, let me go ahead and give this a gander. And I got to tell you, it definitely intrigued me from beginning to end. I thought it started out, with a nice slow burn, a nice little simmer to get you, and then it started boiling, man. It was a good little romp. I enjoyed it. I thought the cast was amazing through it. And I thought it said a lot. I thought it was, the movie was trying to say a lot. I thought it had definitely some satirical elements to it. And I thought it was, it was trying to be a metaphor for some things. And I just really enjoyed it. I really enjoyed what they put out there. What about you? What did you think? Because you were kind of the impetus to do this because you were like, I gotta talk to somebody about this movie, and that's what made me say, like, all right, let me check it out.
I just think it's super well written, and like you said, a metaphor for a lot of different things. As film creatives, as you and I are, as artists that we are, people that create amazing dishes are the people in the food industry should definitely be considered artists as well. That's why there's so many cooking shows on TV, why we watch them all. There's an art to making food. And I think they captured that so well in this. And just like you said, there's a buildup. It's a simmer, as they build up the plot points within this film. And then to label like each sequence of the plating of the menu in the menu to the different parts within the film were just so well done. In both story. I'm curious as a filmmaker like you and I are, in their notes. Like, I would love to talk to these writers and how, when they were building up the story points, for this screenplay, how they kind of layered it out into the elements of each member of the cast, and how each one were going to play their specific role, right? Because every character should have a point to further the story in different ways. There's it's a science, and to me, this is one of those films that shows that science in the art of filmmaking that I'm sure other colleges and other film students that I wonder if professors are diagnosing that film in such a way like I am. I don't know. I feel like if I was an instructor right now, I would want to break this down with my cast, to, like every food menu deserves, and every element of that dish has an importance. A script should reflect this very same, to get to that final portion of that journey, and I think, that's what they did here. In each cast member that it is. Did you have a favorite member of the cast? Like, were you all about Chef? What do you think about Hong Chow, Elsa?
I definitely like Hong Chow. I thought she was great. The way that she pulled it together, the way that she really commanded it. And, up into, the last scene that she was in, I thought it was great. It was very well acted. And I think she really pulled it together. You know what I mean? Without her, I don't think the chef gets to pull off his meal the way that he wanted to. Now from this point on, it'll probably be spoilers. We're just going to get right into it.
Let's get
she was very, very, very diligent and very hardworking. And right up to the moment that she died, she was just she was all in for Chef, and it really captured me. Like her just very professional maitre d' type of persona, I thought was fire. I thought it was fun. I was like, man, I was having a lot of fun with her.
Yeah. Go ahead. I'm sorry.
I was just having a lot of fun with her, and just up until her last words, like she said, she's like, I didn't make a mistake. I swear, you know what I mean? Like, I didn't make a mistake. He didn't tell me about the barrel, but she still kept, she kept up the wares for him. You know what I mean? It was just, I don't know. It was just very, very solid. I really liked it. I liked how they did the clap and then everybody turns around. That was that was so great, man.
Just a lot of great elements in that Joker, right?
Exactly.
Dude, it was like a horror, but not a horror film, Yeah. And that's what my wife, when I was talking to her about this and she had seen the trailer or whatever, she thought this was like a gore fest where people were going to eat people, like slasher type joint. I'm like, babe, it's totally not, because my wife's a cook. She's a chef. She likes to cook, all of that. Yeah. I think. What do you think? Do you think non-film watchers are non-horror? Who would you suggest this film for? Like foodies? Do you think a foodie would get it? Because I've been trying to get her to watch this. I think, I had to convince her that this wasn't a slasher type joint.
Yeah, I think a foodie would very much appreciate it, because it talks about in the film, that was one of the main points, and really what saves the main character's life. The fact that when you cook, it should be from a place of love, you know what I mean? But how it can turn into an obsession or whatever, trying to get the best thing or basically get the approval of people or whatever. I think if you're a foodie, you would really appreciate it, just from the pairings and how they put things together and what they're saying and how they're explaining things. And, I really also like Nicholas Holt's character, even though he was kind of like a dick about it, but just the way in which he ate the food and consumed the food and was really kind of into it. And his palate is so refined. He could taste the hints and the notes, and anybody who isn't able to is kind of uncultured swine who doesn't really matter. All that was great, you know what I mean? It was I feel like the movie itself was almost like a tasting menu. You got a little bit of each of those. That you did get a little bit of element of horror as well as suspense, action and that type of thing. Comedy, it was kind of funny too. It was it had some levity in it. But I like how each of those people had affected his life in some way, in some negative way, and brought him to the brink of where he is now at this point. And it was just very interesting to see how they wove that together. I think a lot of those characters are probably metaphors for things, in life. You have the kind of self-absorbed person, the person the poser, you know what I mean? The person who's on the outside looking in, who doesn't get all this stuff, the critic, and of course the financier and all this type of thing, like all these different people who were involved in kind of the building up of this chef, which really at the end of the day kind of tore him down from an inner level, like basically tearing apart his passion. Like what were your thoughts, man? Like, what has your been approach to get your wife to watch this as a chef herself?
I'm still trying to figure it out, but yeah, hopefully maybe make her watch this review and be like, okay, babe, this is what you're stepping into. Like, it's such a well-crafted film, and everything you said and those elements. I hated Nicholas Hoult, but then he killed that role. And I'm a little upset that, spoilers, he hangs himself, but that he was driven to that. And like when he's put to test to like finally cook, right? How dope was that scene, right? And he couldn't do it.
Yeah, man.
Jeff was like, bitch, you better kill yourself or something. I don't know. What did he whisper in his ear?
Yeah, for sure. Yeah, kill yourself. He was like, that was terrible. Kill yourself. But it was just super interesting. What they named each of the dishes, you know what I mean? Yes. And when he makes his dishes, like Nicholas's bullshit, you know what I mean? Like that's the name of the dish. But I just thought it was very interesting because there are all these people out here who consume things, and because they consume, they think they are the creator. And they think they are on the level of the creator. Oh, because I can taste the hints of XYZ or whatever. But then when you turn around and put them to the test, hey, you put on your apron, you cook, and then, it's a hot mess. You know what I'm saying? Like they're nowhere close to it, but they look down on everybody else who can't see the brilliance and do all this other stuff, but they don't have that ability either. You know what I mean? And instead of like bringing other people into this, enjoying, they look down on everybody as if they were the chef who is creating this thing. I thought that was really well done. I thought that was especially the point where they show each of the dishes, and they show his dish, and the name of it is Nicholas's bullshit, because it's like, yeah, you're a bullshit artist. You're acting like you're this super sophisticated person, but you're not. You know what I mean? Like if you were so sophisticated, you could tell the notes and the hints, you would be able to remember what to put in it. Like, oh yeah, he had this, he had this, he had this reduction sauce that goes on.
Yeah.
But he didn't know any of that. He just floundered under pressure. And as a result, he happily gave his life. You know what I mean? But it was just interesting to also see how much devotion people gave to the chef who is preparing
that
this
sacrificed
menu,
themselves. Again, spoilers, at the end of the film, like they gave of themselves, and then that, the one female sous chef, because the one male sous chef offed himself, right, as one of the courses, and then the female, and they were all complimenting her, right, after like the dudes ran off, which was hilarious. Again, there's comedic elements, but just like fucked up, but real, because there were a bunch of dicks. You could believe that those guys were assholes and just caring about themselves instead of the women that they left behind, right? But like how the women were now having like a whatever dish with the female sous chef, and they were trying to compliment her to, well, let's be real, they're trying to save themselves,
right,
in one aspect, but also, big up, you can compare this can speak on filmmaking, food, obviously this is a food film, but it can speak on artistic ways in everything, on how people think they know something, but they don't really know. It's about the people that are in this and commit themselves to it, this craft, and learning about this journey. It's just, I love this film, dude. I'm just excited that you checked out and you felt it. I love that you felt this joint.
So did you ever ask yourself, like, why do you think all of the people stayed at the table? Like they stayed when they could have like risen up and tried to fight. Why do you think they stayed?
Because I think it's that the end fucks me up too. I'm with you. It's like you want people to realize, things. Like I wonder if if they realize their own misgivings and they had to just do it. I don't know. I think we all question ourselves. Would you have stayed feeling your guilt, or would have you?
I think you hit it right there. I think you hit it right there. I think they all stayed because they were all guilty in some way. You know what I mean? Yeah. Except for the ones who didn't feel feel that, you know what I mean? They all knew of their guilt in some way, so that's why they stayed in their seats, and that's why they stayed there. And then you were talking about like the ending or whatever, which I just you know, it's a chef's kiss ending. I really enjoyed that,
right?
As
Anya figuring out how to get out of that situation.
Yeah, why do you think he let her out?
Because she wasn't supposed to be there from the jump off, right?
Mm-hmm.
And I loved how that whole element happened and the backstory behind all of that, right?
Yeah,
you know, with Nicholas Hoult, that was not his wife, you know, paid as she was an escort, right? And just it made sense, you know. I think that's why. And then she proved herself through everything. She went toe to toe with him, you know. So you had to let her go. But everybody was guilty for their own misgivings, and
well,
they understood it.
I think she was also guilty, but when I am watching,
Anya was guilty.
Yeah, she had some, you know, guilt. You know, she ended up killing the one girl or killing the sous chef and all this other stuff.
Yeah,
but I think what I noticed and what I thought about it when he let her go was that she actually gave him back the passion and the reason why he got into all this cooking by, you know, asking for this dish. And she told him, she very much said it like, everything you've done now, you've been cooking out of obsession. You haven't been cooking out of love. And she actually like challenged him and brought the love back into what he was doing. And you could see as he painstakingly did it. And then she even to the point where she listened to him and what he said at the very beginning, which is like, eat, consume but don't eat, you know what I mean? And she does that with the cheeseburger or whatever. And I think with all that, he felt seen. It was like, okay, I'll let you go because you have seen me, you've understood me, you understood my passion, and then he let her go, you know what I mean?
Yeah. Dude, I love, man, the more we talk on this, the more I'm loving this film, dude. Yeah.
I just she restored his love of cooking and you know, like kind of challenged his ego. And it was just kind of interesting to see how she was the only one, because and also she is, like, as he said, underneath it all, she is part of the service industry. That's what, you know what I mean? Escorts are part of the service. You serve others, you know what I mean? So she knows what this is. And I think that also eventually it snapped him back and made him be like, yes, that is actually it. And also, you know, cheeseburgers are delicious. You know what I mean? Those are my favorite meals. So that it made me really hungry too when he was making that cheeseburger.
Right?
I was like,
I wanted all the dishes.
Yeah, with the sauteed onions underneath the burger. Oh man, I was like, okay, my man over here getting busy right now.
Yeah, dude.
I could definitely go for some of that. But yeah, man, I thought it was very interesting. You know, up until the point where basically all of them, because of their guilt, just made them stay in their seats and end up getting toasted. I thought it was so solid, man. I thought it was so very solid.
Got a favorite scene in the film? And favorite character?
I like when she turned it on him and she did the clap and then she like directed him to make that cheeseburger and then he made the cheeseburger. And it was I thought it was great, you know, him going back to the kitchen and figuring that out and, you know, putting it together, because at the end of the day he is there to serve. And it was just cool. Also, you know, the point of like sending things back or talking to the chef and say, this isn't great. I thought that was also, you know, pretty solid, you know, of the film. But I enjoyed it. And I'm sure if I went back and watched it, there are other scenes that I enjoyed equally as much. Yeah. But her like her turn and figuring out was great, and then her just, you know, on the boat enjoying that cheeseburger. Oh, you know what? When the lifeguard came or the Coast Guard came, and everybody thinks that they're about to get saved, and they're like, "Yeah, that's right, we're about to get saved." Fuck you, shit. And then the guy just, you know, he ends up not saving. That was great too, man.
That was a good twist. I was like, what?
Yeah.
Yo, man, yeah. I love a good written film, and I love film that takes culture and twists it on its head, and just speaks on things. There's so many things, so many elements, so many layers to this film that, yeah, bro, I had to make it in my top 10 of last year, and I'm excited that I can talk to you about it. It's one of those films that, as a creative, it inspires creativity. At least it did for me.
100%.
Yeah, man. Well written, well acted, great job. Yo, I'm never gonna look at s'mores the same way again though now. You know?
I know, and I can't believe he said s'mores were bullshit, but I think s'mores are delicious. But then when he broke it down what s'mores are, you know what I mean? Like graham
exactly.
crackers, like
I love s'mores too, bro.
and,
but when he talked about it, it's real talk. I'm
Yeah.
never gonna look at s'mores the same way again. Because it's
100%.
yeah.
100%.
And that's again why I want my wife to look at this joint. Cause like she feels that and she says certain stuff that a lot of the stuff that is in the film too, that she sees and about the world and everything. But because of the horror elements to it, which to me it's not a horror. I think you could check it.
Well, if you tell her there was actually only one scene where someone gets murdered.
Yeah. When the guy murks himself, I think would be the only triggering scene for her.
Well,
other than
the stabbing in the neck in the cabin.
I don't think she'll mind that because she's seen enough of that.
Okay, yeah.
I mean, it's the when the dude murks himself. That
well, because it's like interesting. Like at some point, they're all thinking it's all theater. It's all theater. It's all theater.
Yeah.
Until the guy shoots himself, and then they're like, "All right, like what the f?" You know what I mean? And that's when they're like, really like, "All right, this is getting wild." You know.
What would you? Before we go, because again, I love this film, dude, and great to hear you checked it out and you enjoyed it. What would you do if you found yourself in this situation? I'm curious.
I asked my wife, I was like, yo, would you go on like a dinner date on a boat like this? And before the movie, we were both like, yeah, it seems like very cool. And then after we were like, fuck no, we're never going on a dinner date.
I would totally go on something like this, but now?
Yeah, I tend to think that I would have had to like, I probably would have ended up getting murked. You know what I mean? They would have had to get like some fricasseed Glenn in there because I would have attacked somebody. I think I would have
been like the old senator with his wife. We out here. He was trying to get Judith Light. He was like, we're leaving.
Yeah, but I guess I would have tried that, but I would have bomb rushed somebody. I'm like, all right, I got one finger, but I'm missing a finger. Well, I'm a Ronnie Lottie.
I wouldn't have stopped fighting back. Yeah, definitely would have kept on fighting.
I would have disrupted the dinner. How about that? That's what I would have did. I would have disrupted the menu.
Yo, Glenn, thank you for chatting this up with me. Thank you for checking it out.
Yeah, absolutely.
I can't wait to do more reviews with you this year in 2023. This is our first review for 2023, bro.
Yeah, bro.
It's good to start it off with a great one.
It is with a great movie. I really like this. It was interesting because my wife did not like it. She was like, I did not like that.
Yeah. So why didn't she like it? What were the reasons why she didn't?
It was just creepy. It was creepy and weird and odd. You know what I mean? So she didn't like it, but she appreciated how well it was crafted. But she didn't like it. And I was like, that's kind of like cooking too. It's like sometimes people can make something and you can appreciate how well it was crafted, how well it was made without actually enjoying it. You know what I mean? Like it's not sure thing, but you can appreciate the craftsmanship that went into it. You know what I mean? And we both thought it was expertly crafted, but she just was like, I did not like that. I did not like how that felt. You know what I mean? It just felt odd. I did not
That's probably going to be my wife whenever I do hopefully get her to see
it. But it is kind of like, it's funny because I'm sitting there like I'm eating it up. I'm enjoying the whole movie. Like, oh, this is so well done, to the point. And she's just sitting there like, oh, I don't like the way that this feels. It's so, you know what I mean? And I just thought that's kind of a microcosm too of, when you sit down to eat with somebody, like somebody could be really enjoying a food and the other person could be like, this is terrible, but it's the same dish and the same, but I just thought it was very interesting to be able to enjoy something that was expertly crafted or appreciate something that you didn't enjoy. I thought that juxtaposition was really cool too. They did a fine job, man. All around, bravo. Clap, 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 chef's kiss. Mwah.
Let's go. Mwah. Yo, Seth Reese, Will Tracy, if you ever check this out, if you're watching this right now, man, we need more. We need more of your writing collab because y'all killed it with this joint. Really.
We loved it.
All right, Glenn Lawrence, if they want to reach out to you, if they want to suggest any projects that we should check out, review, how can they holler at you and level up?
You can check me out on levelupcomedy.com as well as Glenn Levels Up on Twitter, Glenn Lawrence Comedy on Facebook and IG.
There you go. And for me, it's the legend Kuya P on Twitter, TikTok, IG, Hive, and of course here with Glenn Lawrence and the whole squad at the NRW and at Release Wednesday, where nerds rule the world. Man, give us more films like The Menu. Seth Reese, Will Tracy, if you're checking this out, man, we need more. If y'all enjoyed it, let us know in the comments. Let us know what films we should check out. Can't wait to dig in dive in more and eat up 2023, y'all.